All right, I do want to have a little bit of sunlight seep through here, so I'm going to create another layer, and we'll call this sunlight, like so. Hit B for brush, and let's pick a nice warm color that we have back here. Something like this. Okay, let's go big, and I'm going to make this layer 50%, and let's just do a lighten. Lighten is nice for sunlight coming through. The opacity of the brush should be 100%. And just add a bit of light right here, like so. I do want a little warmer. Let's try something like this. There we go. That's nice. Okay, something like that. Gives you a bit of a little light coming in through here, seeping through. And then I'm going to add a adjustment layer here, hue saturation. We'll call it, well, hue saturation is fine. And just turn this to -50. So I'm desaturating the whole image, so that's pretty drastic. And then I'm going to add another, but this time it's going to be color balance. And color balance is good for changing your highlights. It's basically like it's almost like a adjustment of white or black point. If you're used to camera raw, you're setting your white point. In this case, we're going to go to the, let's start with the shadows, and we'll go down. I want to go a little more. I want this to be pretty green, so something like this, and maybe a little towards the blue, just a tiny bit. Okay, and then go to midtones, and here, let's try to make the midtones a little warmer and a little greener, something like this. And the yellows, let's go a little towards yellow, not too much. -4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then in the highlights, let's just try to bring them a little warmer. So something like this, and a little warmer here, considerably warmer. There we go. Now it's almost matrix looking with the greens and so on. It's very color casted, but it's stylized. Anyhow, it's a matter of taste. But I like this. Really helps blend this composite. So that's a nice little trick. I have a little bit of a feathered edge here that I see a little white line, a little white outline here. So we can go ahead and fix that. Let me show you. If you go down here to, where is he? The man. Here we go. His mask is right here. So a couple of ways to edit this. I could just overall adjust it, but I feel like it's really a problem here. Here not so much. It's really just a problem on the right side. So let's just edit this manually. Go to the dodge and burn, take the burn tool, and let's go to midtones, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm going to darken the midtones of the mask, all right? So remember, black conceals, white reveals, so I'm making it darker, and you can see here that as I'm doing that, see that white line just slowly disappeared. I'm adding blackness to my mask. So that's a nice little way of adjusting just a part of it. See that? Pretty clean. That was very nice. And here we don't really see it. On the hair, maybe a little bit on this side. Just a little bit. Maybe a little here. Yeah, the rest seems pretty decent. I could take a little bit off here on this foot. There's a little bit of a black outline here. Maybe a little here. Anyhow, it's a neat little trick to do that. Dodge and burn on your mask. And there we go. So now we got rid of that thing. Okay, good. Let's go to the very top. And as usual, when I'm done, I do Command-Alt-Shift-E, Control-Alt-Shift-E on a PC, create a new image from everything, and turn that into a smart object. And go to Camera Raw Filter. And in here, we're going to add a little bit of clarity, a tiny bit of contrast, maybe a 0.2 in the white balance over here. And let's do a little bit of split toning. I want the highlights to be very warm, and I want the shadows to be pretty cool. And I want it just a touch, and just a touch. Maybe more in the highlights. Tone this down a bit. Maybe a little greener, something like this. Then I go to the effects. I want some grain for sure. Now the reason I want some grain is if we zoom in, we'll zoom in to 100%, you're going to notice that he was pretty grainy. All right, let's turn the grain totally off. He's very grainy. It was a fairly low resolution image. So to make these two blend, I add a lot of grain, and I try to mix the grain. Now it's never going to be perfect because it was too grainy, But by adding a lot of grain, I'm definitely helping that. I can change the size here a little bit, like so. So it's definitely fatter. Something like this. I'm going to go with something like this. And I want some post-crop vignetting. Let's zoom out to see what that looks like. Okay, I want a little more grain, a little fatter, something like that. And not too much post-crop vignetting. I already had some natural in there. Not too much. Something like this. Hit OK. And there we go. Before that and after. I'm at 33, so there's a little grain showing. But before, after. If I feel like the grain's too much, just double click back into Camera Raw, go to the Effects tab. Let's tone this down a bit. All right, hit OK, and there we go. All right, so there is our composite, and we're done. So let's just save this, and very cool. I'm happy with that.